Hello and welcome. This is the Glen Ellen Public Library program, how to visit colleges virtually in 5 ways. I am Joshua O'Shea. You can call me Josh. I'm the young adult librarian. And today with me, I have Thomas Jaworski. You can call him Tom. He's the founder and lead consultant at Quest College Consulting. More than 15 years of experience working with families in both a suburban public school and a private college preparatory and high school. He's been an adjacent faculty member, and he has a Bachelor of Arts in History of Education and a Master of Arts in School Counseling. And right now, he's at the Illinois State Board of Education Certified Teacher and School Tech Counselor. With that, Tom, the floor is yours, and I want to remind anybody coming that you can use the Q&A to put in your questions or comments, and I'll bring them up at the end, unless there's something incredibly pressing. So.
Sounds good. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me out here today to Josh and Amy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm Tom Jaworski from Quest College Consulting. I'm definitely here to, as Josh and I were just talking, to help you, virtually find a college. There's a lot of different ways, we can do that these days. As I was just talking with Josh, is that, again, these days we're stuck at home, and obviously you guys got some curbside pickup we just discussed. Lucky for you guys, I'm out in Mount Prospect, so we're still got a couple weeks behind for that. So I've got a lot of books on hold, so I've got a lot of reading to do myself. But yeah, there's a lot of things, again, you could do from home that, as far as the college search, things don't have to stop, right? There's a lot of businesses that have changed the ways of doing things, like curbside pickup for the books. Restaurants are doing that. So I think there's a lot of great ways, great things you can do to visit colleges these days. And I'm calling it an ultimate college road trip, because you can go across the country at any time here. So I'll get started with the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation. Oh, it looks like I'm trying to share my screen and I'm not able to do that. Maybe I should test that. Is Amy or Josh have an option I could do that? Disable participant screen sharing. No problem there.
Yep, we'll take a look in just a moment.
All right, no problem. So, well, I can keep talking and say it is now. So again, I've been going through the ultimate college road trip myself here. I've been going and visiting colleges across the country, a couple in a day as well, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Colleges are having a lot of information sessions, just like you guys would have if you would visit on campus. But again, this time you're only bound by Zoom meetings. And I'm trying to say the best thing a lot of times about this is that you can X out your computer if you don't want to be there. You can just leave. If the college is not for you, it doesn't sound very interesting for you, you can just kind of go ahead and just leave. So I think, again, it's a wonderful opportunity to learn about a lot of different colleges too, and kind of narrow down your college search. All right, there we go. Perfect, we got that up. Thank you very much. So I'll go ahead and start my presentation. So again, how to virtually visit a college. So again, as Josh gave me a little bit of my background, a little bit there. Again, independent educational consultant now after working for about 12 years in a high school. So going on my 8th year of doing this as an independent. So again, I'm not working for any colleges. I'm not working for any high school anymore. I'm working for families to help them find colleges, apply to colleges, and again, navigate the whole college process coming up, because it's going to be completely different for this year as well. So again, moving on here. So again, we'll talk about 5 different things about how to virtually visit a college these days. So those information sessions, as I kind of mentioned, those look very familiar to you. If you've ever visited a college in person, virtually they're going to look very same to you. There's the official college tours, as I'm calling them. Those are kind of ones that are through the college websites. I kind of go through different ways to interact with the colleges. There's additional virtual tours. They're not, some are official through the college, some are not. I can explain what that means as well too, but they're wonderful ways and small snippets of how to visit colleges, anywhere between 2, 5, 7-minute clips. You can watch as many as you want. Great way for a high school student right now who's looking for something to do if they're not cramming for the AP exams right now. Again, other ways to connect colleges, again, like everybody else, as I mentioned, they're adjusting to the times, and colleges really have been doing this. As we talked in the beginning here with Josh, I gave my first presentation on this on April 6th. And so now it's May 21st. And so within those 6-7 weeks, they've had a lot of different ways, added a ton of different features for people to see and ways to interact. And the last one would be post-visit. Things that, again, you can do. I adjusted this presentation from how to visit a college like in person to how to do it virtually. But I still think there's wonderful ways you can have your high school students stand out and have college remember you, even though they can't see you necessarily, or you can't meet them one-on-one. So that's the things I suggest to do in a post-visit. As we go through here, there's going to be a lot of links here. If this is something you're interested in, or different links, or just to remember this presentation, or I'm talking too fast because I'm having my afternoon cup of coffee right now as well. Again, reach out to Josh, and I'll send him my presentation, and he could then send you the slides, and you can have all the different links, or just remember what I'm just trying to say here. So as we go through, the first question sometimes people would ask is, why visit a college, right? I think besides just trying to learn about the different schools and right, try to make an educated decision, one big factor is called demonstrated interest. And what the demonstrated interest is, it's for a college to just kind of, as the term sounds, I try to define this term, but is to exhibit to a college your interest in them. Again, trying to show them that you want to attend that school. So one thing to do would be to visit the college. That's one way to show your demonstrated interest. How you can do that, again, is visiting college campuses. Again, we're not able to do that right now. Once things open up, I highly recommend you do that if you can. And it's not every college though. People realize we live in the Chicagoland area, that you can't get a necessary plane to go visit the East Coast, go to Boston area, go into California. Even when things open up a little bit more, do we want to go to California on an airplane, right? So again, virtual is a great way to do that now. And so usually it's within a day's car ride is what colleges understand what they're looking for. Now, again, you can go anywhere on the Ultimate College Road Trip here too. So showing how you can do that, actually another reason why you want to demonstrate your interest. Now, first of all, this is a term to take with a grain of salt, because not every single college will use this as a factor in college admissions. Some of the larger schools, the University of Illinois, for instance, they got a large applicant pool. They have a wonderful name for themselves. They're not necessarily need additional ways for people to show that they're interested in trying to determine, which students are for them or not. They have other factors they're looking at. But other colleges, some smaller colleges, and now actually scroll down to the bottom here, a lot of smaller liberal arts colleges, the highly selective colleges sometimes, the smaller ones, they're looking at this. Hillsdale College, a college that changed lives school, Wabash College, another one there as well, an all-male school, one of 3 left in the nation. Those are very important. So again, they want to make sure that you're very interested in them. They know that idea. So again, if you could visit them, they're within a car's ride of us. So one day, if you have a sophomore or even a freshman or younger, when things open back up, perhaps visiting those colleges, if you're interested, would be a great way to do it. But again, what's the reason for this? What helps your rating? Colleges have a website that they use called Slate, S-L-A-T-E. And this website kind of has everything for their college admissions. They put everything into it's kind of your virtual file folder they have there too. And one of the things they log is all the interactions you have with the colleges. So if they send you an email, did you open the email? Did you click any links on the email? How long were you on that email? How long were you on the links for? How many times did you open it? So on and so forth. Did you not open it? Did you not reply to a phone call? All the contact they have with you too. They're helping you with their rating, which again also goes into your application with your your grades, your standardized test scores, if you can take them these days, extracurriculars, so on and so forth. You put that all together and you kind of get a rating. And now in colleges, they look at everything too. You get a rating, and that's the idea is what's the likelihood that you would enroll in that school if they would accept you. And that's one of the biggest factors that will go into if you're being admitted, denied, or waitlisted, so on and so forth. If they've never heard from you before, you never visited them on campus, you never interacted with them at a college fair, you're kind of considered a stealth applicant. And all of a sudden they pop up and you read your application and it says, I've always wanted to go to Wabash College. And the idea of an all-male school is the idea for me. Well, they've never seen you before, they've never seen your name before too. Are they going to believe you? So your rating is not really going to go up that much. It probably might even go down because they never heard about you, but you're saying it's your #1 school. So will they really be interested in enrolling you at that school? So that's pretty much the reason why and another reason goes in your financial aid package as well. kind of keeps you, where they entice you, you're rating a little bit higher, where they entice you for a little bit more money, or if you're trying to appeal it later, like such as times now, with the pandemic and financial situations changing, and you go back and try to appeal it, say, well, you're our number one choice. We really want to attend that school. Are they going to believe you that that's your school and maybe try to help you out, give you a little bit extra money, for instance, in a financial aid award package? So again, it goes into the idea there. Like I said, kind of the smaller liberal arts colleges, Denison and Kenyon in Ohio, two other colleges that changed lives. It's a book that Josh can probably help you find at the library. It's a great college book. Michigan State University, probably for a large university, they kind of think it's important. Washington University, so there's an example of a highly selective college that will take into consideration your demonstrated interest. Other schools that will consider it: Butler, Case Western, Notre Dame, Northwestern. So again, if you have the opportunity, try to visit the college campus is what I'm trying to say, or interact with them virtually now if you can, especially if you're a junior. Again, college may say, well, there's no reason why you can't interact with us. They're really trying a lot of different ways. And so you didn't know about us. So again, there are ways you can do this from home right now. I got a great quote here from Leanne Backlund. She's from Sewanee University of the South. I just love the name of that school. But she said, FIT is about showing mutual interest and respect. We work hard to get to know prospective students, and we ask that they work hard to get to know us too. Students who have engaged with us on campus, at college fairs, and via email can more confidently say that they fit at Sewanee, and we can more confidently agree with them. So again, showing back and forth. They're really working hard to try to recruit you to the school, and they want you to work hard to get to know them as well. It's also going to show up in your college essays if they do have the essay, like why do you want to go to college X, is what I call it, and you explain all the different reasons. It will come out. Your love for that school, your interest in that school, it will show up in your essay as well. It'll make it more of a heartfelt essay, which is what the colleges are looking for. All right, so let's go into the different ways to visit colleges. First way is an information session. So just like you would if you're visiting a college campus, you'd sit through an information session. And first way to do this would be to register for one. So again, you got to register now, especially to get a Zoom link, just like you did today, or you got to go on the website to find it. If you've never done this before, I'll take you through the very basics of what to do. So you go through registration. And, oh, my bad. I want to share the screen and change around. Make sure this one here. Change the screen, so I should be on Google now. And okay, perfect, I am. So again, different ways to do this. So what can we do? You can go to University of Iowa, as I've been picking there. So you go to University of Iowa, you just click on their website, and you go here, you get all the different things up top here. You can go on the tabs, click on the admission tab. If you've never done this before, it's very simple. Go to admissions tab, make sure you're on the undergraduate tab, unless you, again, you're going for grad school, medical school, so on and so forth. But undergraduate, you can even click on that or just scroll down, because what you're looking for is visit campus. So you just click on visit campus. Every site's going to have something about visit, something to do with visit on there. So they scroll down, and I'll do it slowly so I don't get you lost here. Join for a virtual information session right there. Register for one. Again, it's going to be delivered via Zoom. So you click on there, and they're going to give you all the different times. So again, if colleges were open, you do it the same way as well. Here it looks like they're kind of going Monday, Wednesday, Fridays now. They were going every day back in April when I started, but every other day seems to be. Monday being a Memorial Day, not that we really realize that these days around here, but Monday's Memorial Day, so they're taking a day off. But if you click on, say, the 22nd, showing green and it's open, virtual Iowa information session, here at 3 p.m., question and answer delivered via Zoom, you go down there and kind of click on that too. So again, that's kind of an idea, a real quick way of what you want to do to register for this for the information session. And that's going to get you now to not be a stealth applicant, by the way, because you're going to click on that. They're going to ask for your name, for your year in school. They're going to look for the information. So again, you're in the computer system, you're in the program, your rating is starting with the University of Iowa. All right. See here, my slides having problems here. All right, so real quick though, so once you register, say we register for tomorrow at 3 p.m., I suggest your high school students should do something beforehand, do a little work. Again, I say learn a little bit more about the college, and I'll explain the reasons for this besides just knowing about the school, but do your research. As I used to be a high school history teacher, the bane of my existence was Wikipedia. As everybody would reference Wikipedia and just go there for quick sources. Now I'm encouraging you to go to Wikipedia. It's a quick way to learn about the school. Scroll, take 5-10 minutes, scroll down, read a little bit of the information, so you know a little bit more about what they're talking about when you're going through the information session. Learn also maybe what to see on the campus. You can Google a name, find some things. Go to the website, look up the academic program that you might be interested in. If you're not sure if it's engineering, go to the engineering page, see what's maybe a little bit different about Iowa engineering. If it's medicine or if it's nursing, for instance. A good example would be University of Iowa has a direct admit nursing program, but you have to apply first. So the information's on their website if you're looking for that. So you have to apply and then be accepted. And once you're accepted, there's another application that you have to fill out to go into the nursing program as a direct admit. You can still be a pre-nursing major if you choose not to go straight to the program, and you apply once you get to the school. But it's on the website. And the reason that we could take that idea and hold on for a second of why you want to do that regular research there. So look at the athletics if you want to play. Chances are, if you're a Division I athletic, you go to the University of Iowa. Kurt Ferenc might not be looking for you to contact him if you want to play football for them. He's going to be contacting you, chances are. But again, if it's a Division II, Division III school, they're always looking for people to play with those teams, and they have a harder time recruiting than the big Division I schools. So let them know that you're interested in playing sports, and then you kind of go from there, and they'll have contact with you. Okay, so as we go through and see if that be working. All right. So what you're going to see is this information session. Keeping in mind my nursing comment too. Information session is going to look a lot like you would be if you were in campus and on campus. It's going to be 30 to 60 minutes. Typically, you're going to probably have a slide presentation like this, and a professional video they're going to show on YouTube, probably be in a webinar format most likely, where you're not seeing the boxes like you might be seeing. You might just be seeing a speaker box or two. They won't be seeing your box or anything. But it's your campus presentation. They're going to tell you all about the different parts of the school. And all right. They're going to be seeing different things. Like they're going to tell you a little bit more about the academic life of the school, and talk about the academics and what they're looking at. The social life, the athletic portion of it. But again, what students do on the weekends, for instance, what extracurriculars they like to get involved in, what's popular, stuff like that. They'll tell you about the admission process. That's definitely the thing that I'm always looking at as a counselor, as I've been doing, 2 to 3 information sessions a week with different colleges. What's the median ACT, SAT score, so you kind of give you a ballpark figure. They're going to tell you a little bit more about, GPAs. They kind of, the middle 50% of the students have them too. So tell you how to go through the process. Applications, if there are different essays that have to be involved. The Common App and additional supplemental essays. So they're going to tell you a lot more about the application process. So if you're a junior, this is a great way to pay attention to see what they're looking for. And they're also going to talk about the type of student that might be successful at the school. So that's something to pay attention to, because that's the things you might want to talk about in your application. The type of student that's successful here are ones who are involved. And so again, bring out those words, those buzzwords that they're looking at for your application too. So take some notes and write some things down. They're going to talk about the financial situation, financial aid process, scholarships, how do you qualify for them, so on and so forth from those ways as well. So again, they'll talk about if it's merit aid, if it's just need-based aid. They can tell you about all those different ideas about financial aid as well. So again, keep in mind your research now. During the information session, just like here, we have a chat feature for people to ask some questions. And so you kind of look for people to ask specific questions there. I always say do your research, because you don't want to ask questions that can be easily found on a website. As I'm doing these information sessions, things come up, people are saying, do you have lacrosse as a sport at your school? Google search can tell you that. Going through the website, you can find that easily too. Just Google, University of Iowa lacrosse. Do you have lacrosse? It'll tell you yes or no. So again, they'll answer the questions, right? They're going to be very polite. They're going to answer the questions. But I suggest you try to ask them different questions. And again, don't be embarrassed, especially now. There's no reason to be embarrassed. They can't necessarily see you if it's in a webinar format. So, right, or if your mom or your dad's are with you too, you don't slump down and shoot, oh my gosh, anybody going to see me? It doesn't matter if you're on campus, right? Because it's your money. It's a big investment you're making. So don't worry about that. But even now, you should ask those different questions. So the idea here for this question is do quality research. Your research will give you quality questions. So again, going in depth and looking more about the, the nursing program at Iowa, you can find a little bit more in depth about the application process. So they'll know, so you can find out more information about that. When I was doing the Colorado College a couple of weeks ago, they had an information session. Someone asked a wonderful question that even the admission representative said, wow, that's a fantastic question. And I thought the same thing when I saw it in chat. They didn't ask the question, do you have environmental policy major? That's something, again, you could find out through a Google search, searching the website. The student asked, does the environmental policy major focus on local, state, or federal policy, or a mix of them all? Fantastic. Maybe she went through the website and she couldn't figure out the information, or she just knew they had a major and she's trying to figure out a little bit more information about which school is going to be best for her. So that's where I say take some notes to help your memory out too. Maybe ask that same question if you're interested in environmental policy major, if you're interested in a nursing program in direct admit. You ask the same question or two throughout every college and you just write those answers down. And so that way you can go and you can refer to those answers later on. Or again, if she's looking for the environmental policy major, she doesn't care if it's local, state, or federal, but if she's looking to write her application, her essay to her application later on, she could better answer the question about what major do you want and why do you want to study that at Colorado College, for instance. And she can get a better quality answer that way. So start your essays now through your information sessions. All right, so let's see here. All right, perfect. So I was just looking at the questions people want to ask. I'll get to that. All right, so it's the first one, the information session. So again, it's 30 to 60 minutes. I would definitely say stay on the entire time, unless it's a college that you might not be too interested in, because again, there might be a logging, how long you're staying on. Did you stay on for the whole point, right? They're putting a little Zoom report going on. They can run a report. If you haven't done Zoom before, they can run a report. Who was there? How long were you on for? Were you active? So again, keep in mind that if it's a college you really want to attend and the information is not something that's exciting for you, you can just pick up and walk out of the room. They won't know if you did that. Maybe somebody has done that to me today. Hopefully not. But you can do that. So just let it kind of run to the end and kind of shut it off. If it's a school you really don't care about and you're trying to practice or just get some information about that, you can just click off and leave. And that's the best thing about doing things virtually. All right, so the next great thing about doing things virtually with colleges, you have that information session, you have that interaction with the schools. You can do virtual tours, walking tours, interactive maps. So I'll give you two different examples here too, to keep moving with the time here. So we're going to go here to Kansas State. All right, I remember to share this here. So Kansas State, they have a wonderful virtual tour, and it's just kind of interactive with you as much as you want. So I'm going to scroll around here too. You can look around and kind of keep going a little faster or slower. They're going to tell you all about the Welcome Center here on the side, the Family Welcome Center and Alumni Center. So there's a building right there. You're looking at them. Fantastic. You can see what you're looking at. Then you can keep moving on. Again, these are a lot of sites that you would see on your tour as well if you'd be walking around and take you through these different parts. But again, to say with Kansas State is school for me, their information session was interesting. Maybe I want to learn a little bit more about it. So you're going to look around and say, oh, wow, that seems like a school for me. That looks like a pretty nice, newer dining facility as well. And so you kind of look around and tell you more about that. You can find out the recreation center here. Looking around what they have. Every college seems to have a climbing wall. It seems like a big fad in colleges. Everybody's climbing all the time there. But everyone has different climbing walls. They're kind of showing them off. We're going to see the different pools they have and basketball courts. You kind of look around there too. And we'll finish up lastly here, kind of look at the football stadium, the Bill Schneider Family Stadium here too. Again, picture's not coming up. It usually does. Not a big deal, but you got your map in the bottom left-hand corner. So there it is. So you can see all the different things about the football stadium. That's what you're interested in. So keep in mind, as I'm going to show you the next virtual tour as well, they're showing you the football stadium. So athletics probably seems to be a big part of the culture on the campus. So again, we can't be on the campus to get the different vibe of the school, but what they're showing you, they're talking about the school. So they're probably talking, it must be pretty important for them too, to show you the football stadium when not everybody might be interested in football or sports athletics. So it might be having more of an athletic focus for the social life as well. So keep that in mind. So the virtual tour, you can have kind of a walking tour here as well. As I click on it here, Texas A&M University, as we're trying to come up. It's coming up slowly for me here. So again, so apologies about that. So here we go. You're visiting Aggie Land. Sorry about getting you a little lost here on the map. But here, the number one is your visitor center. Same thing like they did at Kansas State, telling you a little bit more about the school. You can read about the center. You can either click on the map or click on the bottom, right? The Memorial Student Center, which is built less than 10 years ago. I visited campus pretty much a year or two after it was built. So it's pretty neat to kind of tell you a little bit more about the center. Pictures should come up, so maybe my bandwidth might be a little slow here as well. As we kind of talk about everybody working from home, is taking out the bandwidth around here. So there you go, the pictures up there. Tell you a little bit more about the Memorial Center. You got links to go into more. The Barnes & Noble bookstore. Just because you can't visit in person, you can still pick up some swag if you're really interested in some Texas A&M gear. So again, the colleges, you know, they're still businesses as well. But anyway, you can go around campus to show you different things to look at and go around there too. And again, something to look at too. Number 13 is Kyle Field. There, the football field. Taking you through the football field, you end your tour at Texas A&M on the football field. So again, that's trying to tell you a little bit something here to read into how big the social life athletics is in there, especially football at Texas A&M. So again, you can do that. Again, I have another interactive map. You get the idea. Sewanee has an interactive map there too. Wheaton College has an idea there too. So again, you get the idea of what else you can do on the official tour there. So like I said, does it actually replicate the actual experience? No, it doesn't, right? We can't have a lot of actual experiences these days, but it does a pretty good job if you kind of do your research and you look into it. And maybe if nothing else, it can help you narrow your college search. You kind of look at it and say, you know, that's something that school might not be of interest to me. Let's cross it off my list. Instead of saying, yes, that's the school for me, that's my number one choice, it maybe helps you do the opposite, cut schools off your list if you had a list of 10, 15 schools you might be interested in. So that could kind of help you out with this too. And maybe when things settle down, especially if you're a sophomore or freshman or even younger, when you can get to visit campus too, you kind of remember the information session, the virtual tour you took to get to feel the vibe, the sights, the smells of campus. All right, so the third thing here too you can do is there are additional virtual tours you can have. And I'll click on all three of them here for I have the slides. The first two, UVisit and University TV, they're kind of, again, virtual tours for the campus here. UVisit is a site that colleges will, you know, I'll take you to the website in a second here too. The colleges are paying, they're a business, and they pay them to make this official video for them too. If you have virtual reality headsets, you can use those, take a 360, you can take a virtual reality tour of the campus. It's pretty neat. I've done that before too. It's pretty cool. It's just like you're walking around, you're seeing different parts of the campus, and they're pointing, shooting, telling you about that virtual tour, but you're there and you feel like you're seeing that. So maybe that could help you out these days to make you feel more normal doing that. But looking at the website right now, so you visit here again for students and parents. That's what you'd be looking at. Again, they're a business themselves, the colleges and universities here. You know, look at that too if they want to hire them out to take a tour. A lot of times these are kind of tours. These just like will look like if you're on a campus tour. So you're going to click on students and parents. We're going on here too. I give you the different tours. We're looking at. I've been doing Pepperdine here too. So you get your virtual reality tours if you wanted to, or you do your 360 experience with Pepperdine. So if you click on the 360, it can show you professionally done. It's pretty nice here too. We're gonna have your music playing in the background. We'll see about 30 seconds here. Take a nice video.
All right, so any nominees from the last week? Seriously, after that build-up, nothing.
There is a place for those who believe. For the spirit and the mind are indelibly written.
So this is just designed to be on a computer like this, or is this designed with the headset? Because it looks kind of funny to me.
Down at the intersection of faith.
All right, did everything show up well there?
Yeah, yep, we saw a bit of the video and heard some of the audio just talking about one of the experiences and then that whatever that counselor was speaking about. So.
Okay. Perfect. Just want to make sure that was still going live there. Perfect. So again, that's just the idea, but you get the idea, and I just picked up on Pepperdine, for instance, because again, they're in Malibu, right by the ocean, so it's a beautiful campus. But again, it shows you the beach. You can show you that you're kind of in the mountains already too. So if you don't get a chance to visit right away, then you say that might be a school for me. I'm an outdoorsy type of person, so that might be a school that I might be interested in, or that can confirm what you want. Again, read into the videos what they're showing you, because that's the type of school it is. So there's a lot of experiences at Pepperdine you can do. University TV is kind of the same way. Another professional site there. Like it's an older site, but again, they've been reinventing themselves over the years. They were kind of the first one that would do this. They would do this on their own before, but now they're doing it kind of officially with the college. So it's an official college video tour. So we'll click on it, see about 30 seconds of this as well.
Welcome to University TV. I'm Ferrari St. Paul. And I'm Jessica Woody. We're here at North Carolina State University's very famous Brickyard, where we found these super cool dog ears designed by the College of Engineering. We can actually hear each other from more than 50 feet away. Let's go check out what other cool stuff we can find at NC State.
North Carolina State is located in Raleigh, a short distance from the Research Triangle Park and only a couple miles from downtown Raleigh.
There's a lot to do because we are in the city. You know, downtown is right down the street from us.
There's a lot of bands that like to play downtown, so a lot of fairs always come to Raleigh.
The Durham Bulls is just a couple minutes away from us, so you can go see a baseball game.
You can find it.
So again, you know, we'll take our time to go back to the presentation, but you see it's professionally done, right? High speed, right? A lot of energy there, trying to definitely appeal to the high school student and make you say, wow, that seems like a pretty cool place to go to school. But again, you're going to see a little bit more than you did on the virtual tour, the walking tour that you saw from Texas A&M, from Kansas State. So something for your high school student to do, like when they're sitting around bored or trying to play their video games or do some other things, like, hey, check out some other ways to visit the different colleges. And again, or later on when you're looking to write your college application, why reasons you want to go to NC State or Pepperdine, watch those videos and kind of cheat a little bit too and get some information from there as well. The last one is Campus Real. You got to log in for that. So I have information to sign up for. It's a free site to sign in for it. I know with the Pepperdine as well. This one is, like I said, it's a site that is it's a state and they're paying for students. So you see a day in the life of Erin here at Pepperdine University. Erin from Chicago, Illinois, so that's why I clicked on this one. But again, they're paying her to take you around campus, and it's not official for the college, but it's not a bad thing. It's an unofficial one, but it kind of gives you more of a first-hand perspective. So let's see, I got my button.
I'm a freshman here at Pepperdine University. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, so it's a big weather change. Malibu is absolutely beautiful. Chicago right now is about 20 degrees and snowing. Right now I'm sitting outside in the warmth. I'm a religion major here and I'm minoring in sustainability, and I love my track so far. So tune in the rest of my career.
All right, we'll pause there. So you get the idea here too. A little bit different than the other videos. You know, she's using a handheld camera. Maybe she's using her cell phone, a GoPro. Maybe somebody else is videoing her the same thing. The camera shakes a little bit. Not a bad thing. You're probably not going to get dizzy off that, but it's something, again, get you more inside information about that. They're going to take you around campus, inside a different building. So again, give you a different perspective about the campus to visit it. But I think it's pretty interesting to get, you know, 3-minute snippets, 2-minute snippets of the different parts of the campus. Again, you don't have to watch them all. So if you go through the information session, you might feel bound through the whole 30 to 60 minutes. That you got a couple of minutes to click on, go to the next school. Again, you know, 20 degrees in the wintertime here in Chicago, and she's in beautiful Malibu. Sounds like a good idea to me as well. So again, those are the kind of the other tours, but there's other ways to connect to colleges, and these are the ways that this slide, I had to expand it down to 2 different columns recently, because again, it started off with 1 column, and then the colleges have added so much in the last 2 months because of this pandemic, because they realized they can't get out to reach people. They need to figure out different platforms, and what are people doing from home? They're creating a whole bunch of different ways. From mobile apps, the college has some mobile apps. Click on one, so self-guided tours. So again, if you're in the area, so that's one from UC Santa Barbara. You know, again, some colleges, somebody has them like that. They kind of had the walking tours as well, and a map, what you would see, but, you know, not only they're creating apps. So again, you know, we're maybe looking for trips. Definitely we're not in California, but there might be schools around here. And if I'm trying to find those as well, that would do that. It might be something that they would do in the fall. So if they can't give tours in the fall, but people could be kind of go on campus themselves, they just can't officially welcome you on, it might be something they can look to do. So there's different tour apps, phone or video chat. So here's something I'll click on here too, going back to the University of Iowa has this feature, and a lot of colleges too. So underneath the information session, we kind of mentioned, you know, join for a video or phone call. So you got a 30-minute schedule for deliver a Zoom meeting here. So you can pick a time and date, and again, there's all the different times. So tomorrow you can go in different half-an-hour increments. Looks like you know, 12, 12:30, 1, 1:32 has been taken already. And it's just going to be a talk with a counselor, but this would be a talk. So make sure you have questions there. So this is maybe if you've done the information session, you want additional information, or you've done your research in the website, to ask those questions about the environmental policy major. Can you tell me more about that, for instance? So there's different features to ask. I wouldn't suggest to do this and say, okay, can you tell me about the University of Iowa? That's what they have an information session for. So make best use of this time. If you want to get that face-to-face with the college too, so they can see your name, they can see your face on the Zoom, and you can feel it's you kind of make it your interview. Most colleges you don't have to interview anymore, but if you want to make it a place or to make yourself stand out with colleges, that might be something you can do as well. In post-visit, I'm going to talk about different ways you can kind of stand out. But right now, this is a way you can make yourself stand out with them, to kind of have that one-on-one Zoom meeting with them too. Or if you learn some information session and just want more clarification or find out more information, you can talk to them there. You don't have to take the whole 30 minutes. They give you 30 minutes. You could be 10 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. You could have that question to clarify. But it's something I think to take advantage of. More colleges have that one-on-one with them too. It used to be a phone call. You can still do the old-fashioned phone call, but to get that face-to-face can be so important when in a time when it's hard to get that face-to-face with people. At social media, they all have YouTube pages. They had YouTube pages for years, and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok probably now, and everything that's out there these days. So they have those pages too. You might want to like them or look at those pages as well. Try to interact with them a little bit too, because maybe that couldn't hurt as well too. Student panel conversations. This is something that's pretty new as well. Going back to UC Santa Barbara, they have that. So again, freshman virtual resources coming up, or prospective students and families. Click on there. So the visitor center, since we can't get to the visitor center now, you can look on a different way. So every Tuesday and Friday, they have student panels. So you want to click on the 22nd, and you can click on all the different dates going down here too. It seems to be 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. Remember, at the University of California, so it's 3 o'clock our time, but ask the gaucho. Who doesn't want to be a gaucho, or ask a gaucho? Like you say, I talked to a gaucho before. It's pretty fun name to say. But again, they have a student panel. They have a couple of students there to interact, to ask questions. They're going to tell you about their lives a little bit. An experience that you can't necessarily get from an information session. And sometimes they would do that if you would visit campus, or you would get that with a student tour guide, that you're missing those ways of interacting right now. But so colleges have created that session. So look around for the colleges that you're interested in. There's different ways to do that. StriveScan is a professional company as well that they are the ones, when you go to college fair, and if the colleges scan a barcode now, you get a barcode or your student ID, and they're scanning that, and they're getting your information. Maybe back in the day when your parents or the older people like myself, we were trying to interact with colleges. You fill out a little postcard with them, put your name on that, and you give it back to the college. That's taking the place of that. So you kind of register online, the StriveScan, and you get your code, and you go to colleges and fairs, and you interact with them that way. Anyways, the point of saying that, they have a whole bunch of information because they can't have college fairs these days, right? Can't get a large groups together. So they have created virtual experiences here too. The colleges that change lives, they're having a little college fair starting next week. If you're not familiar with what that is, Colleges That Change Lives is a fantastic book that Josh, again, can help you find at the library now with curbside pickup. But it has 44 colleges on there now. It used to have 40. They want to write a new edition, so they added 4 colleges. But the idea here is there are smaller colleges under 5,000 students that the author Lauren Pope thought they were fantastic schools that were not Ivy League, but Ivy League quality schools that people maybe not be familiar with, and then tell you why. So again, these 44 colleges now have a non-for-profit, and they market themselves as colleges that change lives, and they interact together. So there's a college fair that you can kind of register for. So student registration for each panel. If you scroll down, so what's fantastic about this is all the different colleges there too. You can have the general colleges change lives at 10 o'clock, Juniata College, or Rhodes College, Agnes Scott College, Denison University, as mentioned about, was very important. They like to have demonstrated interest. So again, these fantastic smaller colleges have all these different information as well. Council registration, I'm going to be jumping in some of these sessions to learn more about what kind of students they're looking for, so I can help them with my clients to advise them what schools to apply to. But student registration, you're in their system as well. You're showing demonstrated interest. So what I'm saying, there's virtual college fairs out there now. StriveScan is a great place to look at. There's other websites that are out there. So if you just probably Google virtual college fairs, you can find these ways. So sometimes you can get them all at one place as well. Instead of you going to find them, you can find them all together. Virtual summer programs, you can't get on campus. Some of them have learned to do things on campus virtually. So again, if you're afraid that I can't do things in the summer, that I won't have an idea to, to add to my extracurriculars or resumes, which you can, because you can do anything you want these days to find out. So you have all these opportunities to do that. But you have the idea here to maybe do something virtually with colleges as well. Just like I said, we can do anything we want to these days, especially. Denison, a student from Denison University, she created a podcast about Denison because she was missing it when she was at home and not on campus. And so you can create your own podcast. Denison did that. StuView, some Tulane University students, you could Zoom with a student from Tulane. It's only from Tulane University right now, but you can Zoom with them for half an hour, for an hour. It's free. They kind of suggest make a donation to a New Orleans charity, if you like, but that's what they created. They created it as a kind of a senior project for them. They really love Tulane and want to do something to promote them, but also as a project, what can we do at home now? So they created their own website. They created this format. So again, just throwing that out there for the students watching or parents to tell the students, you can do things this summer. The world's your oyster. We can do a lot of things virtually on a computer, and these students have done that. So create a podcast, create a website, create an app. All right, last thing, and I think this was a question somebody had, what should students do post-visit to stand out? Hopefully this will answer your question. So again, to get your rating up with the colleges, right, and show your demonstrated interest, you want to build your relationship with the colleges. Write some follow-up notes. So you have the information session. Now let's put the whole slide down here. You had the virtual information session. You got the people's names. So write them a thank you note. You can find their information on the website. You'll find out what territory you have. They'll tell you probably in the beginning that, oh, I'm Tom Jaworski, and I cover the areas of Hawaii, California, right, and Arizona, the really hard states to cover, right, with beautiful weather all the time. But it may say stuff like that, and you could find your local person, but send them an email. Say, thank you very much for the information session. Here's what I found interesting. Oh, I didn't realize this about your school. It sounds pretty cool. Thank you very much. Polish it up a little bit, of course, but send them a little bit of a note. Carbon copy the local representative that you have for your school, so they know you were there. They will find out that you were there. It's going to go in your virtual file folder, but send them a little information to interact, to start that conversation, to build that relationship. So if you're a sophomore or freshman, when eventually you can see them at a college fair, you can see them when they come to your school. Maybe when you see them when you visit the campus, they see your face again too. So again, you put a face with a name here too. But again, even if you're a junior and you're looking to apply and you realize I can't get that face-to-face with schools, start that relationship, and maybe they'll suggest, hey, do you want to do a Zoom meeting? Maybe they might suggest something too. You are starting that relationship by reaching out to them. The ball's in their court to do something to try to recruit you. One way to help you find the area representative, I help you find that here. So click on a link. It's for Hanover College, and I'll get it up in a second here. Hanover College is in Hanover, Indiana. Useless fact about Hanover College is where Woody Harrelson went to college. So if you ever watched Cheers, or maybe you're binging on Cheers reruns right now, Woody Boyd said he's from Hanover, Indiana, and he talks about that all the time. Well, this is why he talks about Hanover, Indiana, because he uses his old college as a drop there all the time. But anyway, so find your counselor here. So I'm going to click on this, and be careful. We're going to get dizzy really quick. All right, so if you clicked on that and you went down, find your counselor down here, select your state. We're in Illinois, select your county, go with DuPage County. And Caroline Brunner, she would be the local representative. So if you would send an email to the people you saw in the information session, say thank you very much for your time. You probably want to carbon copy Caroline on there as well. And you have your information. You can schedule a chat with Caroline too. So there you go, the information is right on there too. So again, if you're looking to schedule a chat with them too, if they don't have that feature in the admission page like the University of Iowa did, that's one way you can interact with them as well. So again, write them an email, write them a handwritten card, right? One day you'll be able to get back to their offices, right? One day Josh will be able to get back to his office as well too. And if you found a handwritten card waiting for him too, oh wow, that's pretty cool. Hey, that's very nice that they wrote me a handwritten card. Who does that these days? If you don't want to go to the dollar store, who has a bunch of blank cards you could write in there too, save you some money, you can order it off Amazon these days. You get everything you wanted too. So you can come there, you can send it back in the mail, a handwritten card, write 3 or 4 sentences saying thank you very much, what you really enjoyed about them too, and that'll help you stand out with them too. Because I guarantee when they meet you again, especially these smaller colleges, maybe University of Illinois, you might get lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of people applying to the school. But you look at these smaller colleges and they're looking at 500 applications, 400 applications that they're reading from their territory. Your name will stick out a little bit from them as well. So keep that in mind. So that's your demonstrated interest to help you boost your application as well. In the end too, that's what I was saying, we will see them again at some point. So it kind of help your demonstrated interest. So I hope I answered your question a little bit about what the student should do to post-visit to stand out. Start a conversation with the school. All right, so finishing up here too, hopefully again we get you to go back to finish your work day, or maybe get some dinner, or go for your daily walk or something. It looks like a beautiful day outside still. Final 4 tips, what you can do is, again, as I kind of said before here with the students in college are doing, don't get caught waiting around. Be proactive. Have your high school be proactive to do something. Maybe the end of the school year wasn't the end of the school year that anybody envisioned. The classes weren't the same, the AP exams weren't the same, but let's jumpstart your college search this summer by doing a bunch of virtual tours. Be proactive. Go after these different colleges. Expand your horizons. Don't just say later on, oh, I didn't know, I wasn't able to do anything. For the current juniors, the Common Application has added a question, and it just announced it. The question is pretty much, what did you do during COVID-19, or do you want to talk about COVID-19? Because people have stories, right? Everybody's been affected by it somehow, some more than others, but they're just asking, do you want to talk about it? Give us 250 words. It's an optional essay, but you can talk about all the things that you've tried to do to be proactive over the summer to do something. Maybe you could write about that app that you tried writing and that you failed at miserably. But you know what? You tried to do it. You set a goal and you try to do something. Who knows? But again, there's nothing wrong with talking about that. So again, be proactive, do something about it. Visit these different colleges, go after it, right? And take a lead. A lot of businesses are doing that these days and reinventing themselves and doing very well in a time where a lot of companies aren't doing very well. Again, build your relationships. This is what I talk about. Be proactive. Go after the colleges as well. Tell them who you are. Do your research for the different colleges too. Do your research online. Get a spreadsheet going. Get a notebook going. Write your answers down here too. These are things that you will reference, or you will need to reference when you're applying for those colleges in the fall when you're writing essays. So keep those in mind as well, because you're going to forget, and your answers are going to be, hey, Mom, what college was that? Right? And you're looking back and screaming at Mom or something. And Mom's like, I don't remember. So again, something you should remember. Have a piece of paper out there too, and don't make it a passive experience when you're watching the interaction. Make it, go after them, look at them too. So interact with the schools. One thing I suggest too is don't do it. I would suggest not to do an information session with the school that's your top choice. If it's Northwestern, Notre Dame, Colorado College, Hanover College, make sure you practice with the college here too. Make sure that it's, so when you ask the question in college about the environmental policy major, about the nursing program too, make sure you're comfortable writing a chat feature and you kind of know how it's going to be. They may be using Zoom. They may be using another website, which is very Slate that I talked about, that virtual file folder that's very similar to Zoom as well. But again, just make sure you're comfortable, visit them, go after it for 10, 15 minutes and then X out, because you don't want to go to Hanover College. You never heard about it. I just want to check out the school, see if they reference Woody Harrelson or something. And then you can kind of click out of it. No big deal if you did, because you didn't care about going to Hanover College. But again, be comfortable with those virtual sessions. Keep in mind though, as much as I say you can do the ultimate college tour and the whole world's your oyster right now, keep in mind that reach schools are going to cost you. Reach schools are academic reach, because again, you fell in love with the school during a virtual session and they told you what the median ACT or SAT is. And you say, oh, no problem. I can't take the SAT these days. Everything's being canceled, so I won't have an SAT score this year. I'm going to go test optional. It still may be a reach for you to do it. So kind of self-assess yourself a little bit too. But again, don't fall in love with the school too much. Also, it could be because even though they might accept you if you're in the bottom 25%, right? Because it's the bottom 25% for a reason. Keep in mind that financially, they may not be offering you as much money because, again, they're not as excited to have you as a student, so your financial aid might not be as big. So even you get, oh great, I get into my REACH school, but the financial aid wasn't there. So keep that in mind too. So keep it open to your college search as well. Just because you can visit any school doesn't make sure that you want to fall in love with it as well. Yeah, Josh.
Would we say that the REACH school is a school that is more academic demanding or is higher cost than your transcripts on paper or your grades in high school? What do we call that?
Great question. I definitely say a REACH school would be one that, again, they're going to tell you what the median, the middle 50% of the students are. Say 28 to 32 on your ACT, and you have a 26 on your ACT. Again, that might be a reach for you, a little bit harder for you to get into, just because your scores might not align, academic profile might not align as well with them. So I would say that would be considered a REACH school. And they may come down to, if you do get in, because again, that's only the middle 50%, there's a top 25 and a bottom 25. That's where it might become a financial reach for you, because you might not be able to pay the amount of money that the college is gonna kind of want you to pay then too, if they want you to come to that school. So thanks for that clarification, Josh. Thanks for asking there. And then the last one I would say is just keep in mind that this is new to everybody, right? This whole virtual platform, colleges are adding a whole bunch of different things as we go along. Like I said, when I started this beginning of April for the first library that I did and suggested virtual, a lot more has come about, and I'm sure over the summer is going to be, and the same thing in the fall as colleges, they may reopen. They're talking about reopening, but will they be reopened for other people to visit campus? Do they want to try to keep it as close as possible so admissions might not be over there? Admissions people may not travel to you to visit you at your schools or college fairs. So again, everything's new. As I said, like Zoom, did people know what Zoom was 2 months ago? Zoom bombing, right? That's new words right there for us. That's going to be in the dictionary probably, the new version next year. So, but yeah, so everything's new. So they're figuring out as they go. So be patient. Keep checking in with them too as well to see what's new with them. Get on their email list. Type in there that, request more information. Get your emails. They're going to tell you all the different fun, unique things that they have there. So again, everything for the for current juniors, for the current seniors, everything's different. Don't worry about it. They're adapting their admissions policies as well. Their holistic policies about, going test optional, because again, the SAT might not be factors, the SAT at home version. So, don't stress, be proactive. Maybe contact Josh and try to get some SAT study books as well. Or say, hey, Josh, what virtual things do you have with the library that I could use online for virtual formats so I could study for SATs coming up? Be proactive about these things, because again, we will get back to normal one day, and so we can kind of go after it from there. And then, so thank you very much. I hope everybody stays safe and stay healthy. Here's some information. I have an e-newsletter if you're looking to get in contact with me. If not, like I said before, you can get in contact with Josh, and he can get in contact with me for the slides as well. So great. So thanks very much for your time. If you had some questions, feel free to ask. I'm not sure if Josh, if people had questions or not. So I'll stop talking for a moment.
Not a problem. We got the main question that was asked. Thank you very much, Tom. This is great. This hunting for schools and trying to look at places is overwhelming without a pandemic. So the few things that stuck out to me were, even though things are virtual and we're a lot more distance from things, there's still a lot of options to make a human connection, whether that's in a situation like this, if you're listening to a presentation from a school, if you're contacting a counselor, if you're contacting admissions. So I think that's a great perspective. And that's something that we can do. This is not, knowledge is power in a lot of cases, and this knowledge is hidden, but it's free. So I think that's really important for a lot of people who are in high school themselves, or their parents or mentors. So we have about 4 minutes here to round out our hour. I could see someone who sees, I need to make connections, so I'm going to send 50 emails and call 3 times a day. Is there too much that someone can reach?
Yes, that's a great question. I think that is a perfect example of being too much there too. Just, either make it natural, a natural conversation going back and forth. Send them an email, like I said, the thank you email. They're going to respond back. They're not going to respond back with, oh, thank you, glad you enjoyed it. they're going to send probably some more information back. Oh, very good. I'm glad you like that. So we're going to start a conversation with them too. So, but when the conversation is over, no problem. Thanks for the time. You can always check back in, later on too. Like I said, that demonstrated interest is not going to be for every college too. So if you're going after the Ivy Leagues, for instance, too, right? They get 50,000 applicants a year at Harvard. So, you want to make yourself stand out. Well, that's probably not going to be a place you're going to be kind of going after them and kind of bombing them with email and spamming their email box. But, just having a natural conversation, natural phone call, have a meeting, they're going to remember you and they're going to get in contact with you as well. They're going to call you. They're going to text you because you're going to give your cell phone number probably. They're going to send you email. So those are ways to interact too without even talking to them. If you just open their emails, read them, click on some links that they might have sent you to, they're going to log all that information on their screen, what you've done.
That's great. That also reminds me of the, oftentimes we have the tendency to look at either Ivy League schools or, the top 10 or these big state schools. But if we take time to do the research on using the databases that you mentioned and looking actually into the programs, as well as looking at the financial aid prospects, we might get something that fits us better, whether it's our personality or our goals. So I think that, I think that plays really well into kind of discovering yourself and not just going, oh, I know that name, I know those colors, or I heard about that. That might not be a good fit for you as who you are.
No, I agree with that. I think a lot of people list, like they Google, top schools for X. They're going through the Wall Street Journal, the Forbes top 100 college list. I'm sure there's plenty of books in the library as well that has the top schools, Peterson's 357 schools. People are looking for that, and I think they're afraid a lot of times. Like, I think the perfect story here for this one is when I first started this business, I really jumped on the road and visited a lot of schools, and I was at Swarthmore College in outside Pennsylvania, sort of top 20 schools in the nation, and I called my parents, like I was a good son. I called my parents, hey, Dad, just want to let you know I arrived safely. I'm here overnight, and they had some friends over that. These friends, my parents, they were the Joneses to my parents. Were always trying to keep up, and so he said, oh, hold on a second. And he said, hey, such and such wants to know what school you're at. And I said, oh, I'm at Swarthmore College. He couldn't remember. And he said, oh, he told me the name of the school. And I heard in the background, never heard of it. And I said,
as if that was,
tell me never
missed
heard of it.
it offhand.
Exactly. He said he never heard of Swarthmore. It's in Philadelphia, right? We're in the Midwest. We may not be familiar with these schools. But I said, Dad, you tell him he should have heard about the school because it's a top 20 school in the nation, if not a top 10 school in the nation. So you should have heard about it. And if you put that name on your resume, you'll probably do just fine. So again, kind of put them in their place. But just remember, if you never heard of the school, it's just because they're a Division III school. They didn't play in what would have been the NCAA basketball tournament this year and stuff like that. So that's how we get to know the schools, because they're in the media for athletics a lot of times.
That makes sense. And then also along with those, I've heard you can be a biggish fish in a smaller pond or a tiny fish in a huge pond. So some places, if you know what you want, if you know you want to do this or that, you might get the chance or the resources or make connections if you take the time and do the research into a school that fits what you need, instead of just trying to get in somewhere and then figure out what you can do in that school.
Right. No, I think that's a great way of putting that there as well. So, and
that's
just
awesome.
and sometimes I think Malcolm Gladwell, in one of his books he published, he had a chapter on there, and the idea was the girl, she was from Maryland, and she applied to the University of Maryland, her state school, but her reach school was Brown University, and she was accepted at Brown. The thing is, she ended up going to Brown, and she talked in there, Malcolm Gladwell talked about it there, that she was now, it was a stretch, it was a reach for her to get into Brown, and she got in there, but she was still at the lower end of Brown, and she was really, really competitive school, and it was hard for her to keep up with going to Brown. We're going to University of Maryland. It's still a quality educational school that you're going to get, that she probably could have been maybe more successful there, but she was going for that name of Brown and felt like, I applied there, I have to go there. You don't have to do anything, right? Whatever's going to be best for you in life. And so you got to remember those decisions as well.
Yeah, that's great. All right, well, that brings us to our time. So officially, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You can find recordings of this on our social media. Just search the Glen Ellen Public Library on Facebook or YouTube. go to gepl.org. You can always contact me, and I can get in contact with Tom and his material at joshea@gepl.org. And keep looking at our website, because I'm going to keep doing some more of these webinars on college prep. So see you later.